future investigations.
But is this clearly a foreign substance? I mean, do you agree? Does your research concur, or with Professor Stephen Jones' research that this is the thermite reaction, and that it has the same when they do that spectrographic analysis, that it has the same signature as the thermite and thermate that they've tested?
Excuse me, I didn't get the question. What you mean signature? This is thermite, and
yes.
It certainly should not be there.
Yes, okay, exactly.
This is definite, and it is a very advanced variety of thermite. It's nanothermite. So this stuff definitely should not be there.
Yes.
And one of the major point or result of our conclusion is that those who put it there should tell us when, how, and why it got there.
Well, people, Professor, always ask, how could Al-Qaeda get into Tower 1 and 2 and 7? 7 was FBI, CIA, Defense Intelligence, IRS, and what was a National Security Command Center, the largest CIA sub-base outside of Langley, Virginia, in the world. And I wonder how Al-Qaeda snuck into the CIA base and did that. Yeah. I wonder why the media didn't make a big deal about this. You know, you got thermite in Tower 1 and 2 and 7, according to others who found it. But I mean, I'm digressing here. So this is thermite. It's in there. Other people found this and tested it. What does this mean to you?
Well, this means, basically, I can see this is we can all agree that a crime was committed on September 11th. This, I guess, everybody can agree upon. And in my view, this crime has never been properly investigated and far from solved. So what we are providing as scientists with this work is the forensic evidence for this investigation, which has to come. And if I may repeat, that this stuff should not have been there in the dust. That's obvious. And those who put it there should tell us how it got there and why it got there.
Professor, how does this... Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, this is energetic materials, and if I may finish the thermite discussion.
Yes.
Because thermite is what I told you before. Thermate is a special variety of thermite in which you put sulfur in. And it has the ability to lower the melting point of steel. So if you put sulfur in, the obvious purpose is to use the heat developed to melt steel. And I think it's very obvious that this is what happened in the towers, where you could see molten metal pouring out.
Stay there, Professor. Professor Harrit, Niels Harrit, please stay with us. We'll give out any websites or other key places where folks can read your paper. We really appreciate you joining us. Back after this quick break. We've got you till 45 after, sir. Infowars.com. Hope you are listening to what you're hearing here. There's been a lot of new developments in the swine flu hoax. It's pretty much sure now that it's a hoax. If we start seeing a bunch of deaths early this next week, then still, I mean, the regular flu kills a lot more than that. All this grandstanding, all of this, it's a big distraction from other issues, like the one we're covering now with Professor Niels Harrit, just an amazing individual, wrote a scientific paper with 8 other authors titled Active Thermetic Material Discovered in Dust at the 9/11 World Trade Center. Professor, before we go any further in this segment and the next with you, are there any particular websites? I mean, I know globalresearch.ca has your paper posted. I know that the Journal of Open Chemical Physics journal has it posted. Do you have a personal page or a site you'd like to tell people about?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
No, that's great. No. I was just, just offering. Now, explain to us, how did you get interested in this to research it and look at it?
Well, I got hooked on the 9/11 story when I saw Building 7 coming down. And this was the revelation, like, I think it was 2.5 years ago. But accidentally, I saw Building 7 going down on a video disc my wife had gotten. And from that moment on, there has been no way back. It's as simple as that. When you as a scientist see Building 7 going down, you say, what? And then I had to push the button again and say, what? And I pushed the button 10 times. And my jaw was hanging, you know. So, and from that moment, if you're a decent person, there's no way back. You cannot lie to yourself and say, I haven't seen this. And you wonder, of course, as a scientist, why and how does this happen? Because as a phenomenon, it is unexplainable on the background of the official conspiracy theory. And I had never heard about Building 7 before. That in itself was an eye opener. What is this? And this was Stephen E. Jones. You know, the lecture he first gave on Brigham Young University.
Yes.
The Ethics Center there. That was that lecture. This was the first time the situation at all caught my attention. And from that moment on, as I told you, there's been no way back, because I was naive enough to say that if somebody stands up on a soapbox and tells the truth, it would run by itself. But during the next month, I found out that this was not the case.
Yeah, national
so
news.
I've been kind of hooked and sucked even more into it, yeah.
And then you find out more and more, like BBC reported the Tower 7 had fallen before it fell, and they reported exactly how it fell, and so did CNN. Yeah. And then we found out they were fed a Reuters report of false scripting, and then you just add the evidence on that. But now you've gotten samples, tested it, it has this in it. I'm sure you've seen, since you've been researching, the fact that NIST happens to have all these explosive thermite experts working in it, and they're the people, it seems, covering up 9/11. I wonder why they're doing that.
Well, there's an excellent paper by Kevin Ryan on these relationships between different people and different laboratories and NIST. But what I was pretty fast sucked into the science aspect of World Trade Center, and at some point felt the commitment as a scientist to take care of that. So maybe I think probably the only person in Denmark who has actually read the NIST reports.
Yeah, you are sticking with that. And we're going to do a final segment. We're about to break and just come back for 10 more minutes with you. Then I'm going to cover the flu. But, Professor, we appreciate your courage. You've been on national television now in the Netherlands. The media is giving you attention. Other peer-reviewed journals are doing similar studies, and the findings are, this was going on. What type of response are you getting from people in Europe? I know I've seen polls where the majority of people in Europe think it was an inside job. Actually,
it is boiling. It's growing rapidly day by day. And it's true, I've been on national television, and there are two clips. Actually, one of them has been posted on YouTube and seen by many people, I realize. And the other one will be coming up very shortly, I can announce.